Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ask Dr. Dan, our Parent Footprint Facebook Live. Today's topic is kindness, showing kindness. This is being brought to you not only by Parent Footprint, but also by our Parent Footprint Awareness Training, because our goal and mission is to help all of us parents be more aware, parent with purpose and intention, and think about what we want for our kids, and based on what we want for our kids, parent in a way that actually produces that outcome. It's not easy, but it's important to do, with all of us running as fast as we can in our busy lives, while at the same time, I think all of us thinking about our kids a lot, and maybe we might even argue more than we would even like to. So each week we talk about a different topic that helps us as individuals and helps us as parents, and for us to think about what we want for our children. So this whole idea of kindness. So a few weeks ago, my wife forwarded me the link to an article that was in The Atlantic. It's called Masters of Love, and here's the quote that it said. Science says lasting relationships come down to, you guessed it, kindness and generosity. Lasting relationships come down to to kindness and generosity. So it's fascinating where the science came from. So in the 70s, the alarming divorce rate was going public, up to 40 to 50%. And when you look into the divorce rate now of first-time marriages, it's still fairly consistent with the 40 to 50%. And second and third marriages even often have a higher divorce rate. So they were looking at this in the 70s, and they started doing research at the Love Lab, which was created by Dr. Gottman and his colleagues. And what they started to see is they could look at the way new couples interacted with each other. And they found that in all of these variety of social settings, natural social settings, they found that couples either turn in or turn away from each other. So couples that turned into each other is when one couple, one spouse would say something, looking for attention or looking to engage, and the other person would acknowledge it and maybe say something, or that's interesting, or touch, all these different ways of turning in. On the other hand, there were lots of people who would turn away, and they turn away could be a dismissive comment, ignoring something that was a little critical, even mean, um, not showing interest. And over 4 decades of research, get this, that they found at the Love Lab that Dr. Gottman and his colleagues could predict with, let's see here, 94% accuracy. They could predict with 94% accuracy which couples would stay together in the future based on observing their interactions. So this got me thinking about a number of things. One thing that got me thinking about is, why is it so difficult to show kindness and generosity to others? It sounds like a simple concept, but apparently it's hard if we have a lot of people who are still breaking up and having difficulty in their relationships. It got me thinking, what are we actually teaching our kids about kindness and generosity? It made me think about my years of working in therapeutic programs and therapeutic camps, where a lot of the kids were there, as one of the reasons they were there is to develop their social skills and their social engagement abilities, and how in these groups and in the natural setting, we spent time teaching kids about how to make a friend, how to respond to a friend, what to say if your feelings get hurt, how to show people appropriately what you need, what is personal space, all of these basic skills. And what we saw over time is that these kids learned how to make friends and have positive relationships. Are we teaching our own kids about these same things in our home? Are we showing our kids what it's like to be in a healthy relationship? Do we show our kids how to turn in, or do we model turning away? So make no bones about it, when our kids are on their smartphones or playing Minecraft on the computer, playing a game, or watching TV or watching Netflix, they are listening and hearing how we interact with other people on the phone, and how we interact with our spouses and significant others and significant relationships in the home. They're watching. They're watching sarcasm. They're watching joking. They're watching loving remarks. They're watching a hug. They're watching showing interest, and they're also watching not looking up from an email or a smartphone when someone's talking to us or saying, "What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." Kindness and generosity. Kindness and generosity. So, what are we showing our kids, and how can we be purposeful about showing this kindness and generosity to them? What I'd like you to think about is one thing that you can do to show kindness and generosity to someone significant to you that you love. It could be your partner, your spouse. It can be someone else in your family that you live with. It could be your children. And now here's the thing. If we can show it and we can model it, then we also can expect it from our kids. But we can't expect our kids to do what we don't do in our own lives. I find it ironic that often we want our kids to control their emotions and behavior when we might not be controlling ours. And we want our kids to stick with boring homework when we might not be getting our own Monday tax work, housework done. We have to set an example. And we cannot make the mistake of thinking that what we think should be simple about human nature, about showing love, kindness, and generosity, just comes with our hardwiring, because we still have a very high divorce rate. And those are kids who are being raised in these situations. And they're then going to have the opportunity to be kind and generous with their own partners. Now, even if you're in a situation with divorce or separation, you can still model kindness and generosity, right? We all can continue to grow. We all can continue to find love and to show love. And we all can start every day as a do-over and choose how we want to live that day and live our life. So I challenge you. I challenge you to show generosity and kindness to your loved ones. I challenge you to model kindness and generosity for your children, with your neighbor, in the community, when you're driving, when you're at line at the store that's taking too long. Show what kindness and generosity looks like. We are at a time in the United States and world where we need kindness, generosity, compassion, and love, maybe more than we have in a very, very long time. As we close today, think about your kids. Think about engaging in your own life. Think about showing them the person you want them to become. And think about what footprint you want to leave. See you next week.